So here we go, guys. This is gonna be the 1v1 versus it's gonna be NoLimit Proxiz versus Numelops. And here we go with Zykos versus Link, the team captain stepping up straight away. Let's see who's gonna start off better. Looks like Zykos with a slightly better start. Link is already down. Link crashes. So Zykos could not have had a better first round. He knows that he only has to get to the finish line right now. Link has pretty much given the round to him at this point. And Link just needs to refocus as fast as possible. That's definitely doesn't start he wants, but then Zykos makes a mistake. What is going on right now? Zykos throwing away what could have been an easy round. Link is catching up, but he's still not in first place. Link is now coming so close. Both players with one crash. It's still gonna be up in the end. Link cannot come closer than 0.1, but let's see in this turn. Oh, Link has to release a lot, so we'll allow Zykos to maybe pull away just a bit. Zykos has a 0.3 advantage now, and will probably be able to just carry it out all the way till the end. And Zykos wins the first round. A bit more eventful than I think we would have expected. Both players making mistakes, but in the end, Zykos just keeps it together after his crash and manages to take it. So a 1-0 for Numelops. Let's see if Link can avoid crashing in that turn, because sometimes stuff like that can play on players' minds. Now he goes a bit wider here. You can see that he's taking a completely different line. He's trying to be a bit safer, get maybe more exit speed. But as a result, he's dropping down quite far at this stage already. So Zykos now has over a 0.2 of an advantage. And Link has a massive job up ahead of him. Zykos super close once again on the left, but this time manages to survive. Both players touching the gray block, but both survive as well. So Link is kind of keeping the same distance, can't really catch up. Zykos is just doing his thing, is not letting go of his acceleration button. And it's looking pretty good for him as long as he can keep it together for the end. He doesn't have to risk, he's got now 0.3 of an advantage. Should be no problem for Zykos as he wins another round, and that's 2-0 for Numelops. Really starting off at this sub-match on the right foot. So Link 2-0 down, really needs to start making things happen. Doesn't want to go 1-0 down overall straight away. So we can see again Zykos goes so much closer there to the wall. Tries to risk it a bit more in the very first turn, and it always pays off. Because as you can see, Link is once again a bit behind at this point. So he has to play catch-up. Zykos is trying to kind of make the gap a bit bigger. It's actually the opposite of what's happening, because Link is trying to come back, but right now still 0.1, around 0.1 all the time. Now Link at the same distance, I would say, as last round, but just cannot do much against Zykos. Seems like Zykos has just the slight edge in terms of pace, and Link cannot do anything. But as I say that, Link is trying to attack. Bit of a wider line there, cannot overtake Zykos, might try in the end, but Zykos still, this time 56.7 is enough to win this one. So this is by far the closest Link has come. It's still not enough to take it. Zykos, of course, the world record holder here, and he is so consistent as well. Feels like he can do 0.6s and 0.7s without breaking a sweat. And this time around, Link finally is in contention after the first corner there. But here we see completely different lines. Zykos goes for the airtime, and it does pay off, because he has a slight advantage going through there. Now Link trying to fight back. Link is trying to catch up. Now this is the turn where Zykos has had some issues in the past. But this time just does it so much better, the Link, and Link is around 0.1 behind. Link now needs to try and attack in the end once again. Link trying to go for the inside line. Zykos will have more exit speed. So it's once again looking good for Zykos. But we've seen Link being able to do something in the end. Oh, but he has to release so much. So pretty much it gives the round to Zykos yet again. Zykos can allow himself to just save it in the very end. Does that very nicely, and that's another low 0.7. So yeah, we see some completely different lines from the players. And let's see if Zykos is gonna go for that airtime line somewhere around the 15-second mark. Because that was where he started to gain some advantage on Link as he crashes, so this time it's not gonna matter. I'm sure Link is aware of the situation. Now we know he doesn't go for any airtime there. He survives that section, so now he just has to not do what Zykos did in round 1. Just make it to the finish line without crashing. Zykos is almost 2 seconds behind, so obviously he is not gonna catch up unless Link allows him to. Link doing well, even releasing here and there. Just knows that he doesn't have to do anything special. Doing these very safe lines, trying to stay in the middle of the map as much as possible. You can see he drifts, you can see his exits. He's not really going close to the walls anywhere. Just a smart driving there by Link, and wins with a low 57. Let's see if this is exactly what he needed. Some mental support for him. Because after going 4-0 down, it was a high time that he finally won around himself. So now Zykos in a situation where he has lost a round. Let's see how he can cope with that. Can he maybe fight back straight away? This time, no mistakes in the start, both players survive, and Zykos is definitely doing that on purpose. Looks like it's working out for him, and who can blame him, given how good his PB is. So Link this time doesn't drop down that far, even though Zykos has a slightly more speed over the stretch. Let's see, this turn Zykos always a bit more inside there, and manages to gain some time on Link yet again. So Link is around the 0.1 behind, will need to make something happen in the end. Zykos with a much better turn there, so Link is dropping down quite far now. Needs a bit of magic in the end, or maybe just needs Zykos to make a mistake. Either way, Zykos is a 0.2 ahead and is not slowing down anytime soon. Zykos is still doing very well, Link is just unable to do anything, and Zykos wins this one with a 0.6. So right now this sub-match is going one way and one way only. Unless Link starts pulling some magic. I don't think this is going to change. Because Zykos is just too fast. So yet again, just as usual, Zykos is up ahead in the very start. Going for that airtime line. This time, kind of the same, I would say. So Link is able to catch up in the next turn, but once again Zykos has so much more exit speed and is going to create quite a big gap over this stretch. Then Zykos again with the inside line. Link even crashes on the outside, so can Zykos keep it together this time? Let's see, we've never seen him crash in the latter part of the map, so looks like this shouldn't be a problem for him. Does that very safe, kind of like Link a couple of rounds ago. Should be no problem for him here either. Zykos doing everything he has to do just to save his way into the finish. This time a 0.8, which I think in Zykos language is super safe. After we've seen what he's capable of on this map. So Numelops clearly have a huge asset, even in the future matches if they manage to win this one. Because Zykos can definitely be the carry player on this one. So let's see, potentially the last round, but Zykos again with that mistake in the very start allows Link another chance to win a round, but maybe this could work out in his favor actually. Maybe he just needs that one round to maybe calm himself down and collect himself, just to go for that one final push and get the first point on board for his team. So now let's just watch Link, let's see what he does. He has a 0.7 of an advantage, so it's not as big as last time. But it's still way too big for Zykos to catch up on pure pace. He definitely needs a Link to make a mistake. But we know Link is extremely experienced. Now even a TMGL player, so he knows what he has to do. Knows that he just has to keep it together and get over the finish line. Which is exactly what he does with a 57.01. So second point for NoLimit Proxiz. Still has a long way to go. Needs to win 5 in a row. Because we know there is no tennis mode in the 1v1. Now following Zykos. Zykos, I think, just needs to survive this, and then he's good. He does exactly that. Now Zykos can start attacking here. Link again going very wide. Will go over the gray block as well, but Zykos has created a lovely gap over there, so he always gets some more exit speed here as well. Should be around the 0.1 after this stretch is done. So Zykos is looking pretty good right now, even though Link is trying his hardest to come back. Now 0.1 of advantage for Zykos, so kind of as usual. Zykos going so far on the right and actually crashes. So Link will be allowed to take this one as well. Link, they're just keeping it together. I think he was just waiting for Zykos to make that mistake. And this time pushed him really well. Tried to go a bit faster, and Zykos crashed there on the right. Allows Link to get another point on board. Here we go, Link is 4 rounds away. Zykos just needs to close this one. Let's see, Link this time with a better start. Who's gonna get this one better? Looks like Zykos has more speed here. But we all know what he's capable of in that turn. Now this time Link carries more speed out of that one. And for the first time Link was ahead, but then makes a mistake. Has to release so much and allows Zykos to probably win the round at that point. Now Zykos has a 0.2 of an advantage. So this is definitely in his hands. Zykos will know how far ahead he is, so he knows that he only has to save it now. Avoids the crash on the right, but a bit of a dodgy line there on grass. Will allow Link to come super close. Link tries to attack. He's not really capable of doing that, seems like. As Zykos is only extending his advantage, and will this be the end? Looks like it will. Zykos winning this sub-match with a 56.88. 7-3 overall, and very well played by Zykos. Very impressive performance in that 1v1. So here we go with the 2v2. It's gonna be Nod and Panda versus Harney and Vag. So Vag already with an early mistake leaves Harney to do all the job by himself. So Harney definitely needs to win this one. Panda is lagging a bit. But Nod and Panda still within striking distance of Harney. Harney has a really nice start. And this is super close between the top three. Wag is half a second behind. Is definitely not going to do anything here. Nod trying to go for that Zykos lines. Doesn't really work out. So Harney and Panda are able to overtake him. Harney with the inside line, it doesn't work out, but then he has a less exit speed, so allows Nod to come back. This is super close. Both Nod and Panda still contesting Harney for their first place. Nod, I think, will have to release, so this one might just be between Panda and Harney. Harney doing a great job right now. And Panda is trying to catch up all in the end here. Who's going to get it better? Harney with the inside line. Harney will win it and save his teammate. So the round ends up being a draw. So we can see the times aren't as fast as what Zykos was doing. Harney winning it with a low 0.9. So let's see if the players can just keep up this pace, or maybe if someone is going to stand out and maybe try to go for those 0.7s. So this time around it's Harney in last. And Harney going for that Zykos line with the jump. We can see it does look good, because he at least overtakes Panda there. But then again, Nod is in the lead, so right now looking like 2 1v1s, Nod versus Wag and Harney versus Panda. Still a super close overrun, only Nod a bit ahead. Can anyone catch up to Nod? Looks like Nod has lost a bit of speed in that section, so will allow Wag actually to come back a bit closer. Right now looking like a draw still, and Panda I think drops down super far behind, but then Nod makes a mistake, or is he just lagging? I have no clue. I think he just made a mistake and will allow Harney and Wag to take this one. So looks like we're seeing the beast mode Harney, as he's just being consistent and getting these first places in. Harney right now definitely the standout player in the first 2 rounds. Doing very well and waiting for those mistakes from the Proxiz guys. Now let's see, into the next round we go. We're still far away from resolution in this match because we know how many draws can happen here. Panda with a very sloppy start there is already over 0.2 behind. So we'll have a lot of catching up to do if he wants to be a factor in this round. His teammate isn't doing that great either. He is right now in third. But Panda has so much speed there, just like Zykos was doing, and is allowed to catch up now. Only 0.1 between Nod, who is trying to attack the first place. But Vag and Harney are doing a great job up until that section, because Vag makes a mistake. So once again, this is in Harney's hands to save the draw for his team. Panda is completely coming back. Can he survive? Yes, he can actually. So Nod and Panda versus Harney in the end. Harney again, 1 versus 2. Harney needs to get one of those magical ends. Can he do it? Looks like he's gonna go for the inside lane. Harney wins it once again. The times are getting slower, but Harney keeps winning. So this is another draw. Harney is going beast mode right now and needs Vag to back him up a bit. Because there's not a lot you can do if your teammate isn't performing. Yo, we should be back now. So we missed the Proxiz coming back. We missed Proxiz winning 2 rounds. And we're jumping into a really close one right now. Let me just find Nod. So Panda with a mistake there. Panda is down, so this is looking like another red round here. Just might be for Harney and Vag because it's only Nod contesting. Nod needs to win this one if he wants to at least to get the draw. Vag with a super wide line. What? What just happened? He just had to jump into the finish. Like, Harney had it. Even third was enough. Bro, that was worse than my internet. But anyway, into the next one we go. I have no clue what's going on with Vag. Like, Harney is being asked to do everything himself in this one. Because right now, Nod is in the lead with Panda in third. Now this time around, it's Harney actually who's quite far behind, so this one might go in favor of Proxiz as well, because usually when Harney is behind, this spells trouble. Nod and Vag trying to fight for that first place. Panda super close there on the right, but manages to survive. So Harney trying to come back, but he's just so far behind, and he needs to take at least Panda in order to get the draw. Now Nod is going there with a really weird line. Harney is attacking. Harney, oh, Harney actually goes too much on the right there. Almost had Panda. It looked like he just might catch up. But unfortunately for him and his team, it was another point for Proxiz. Super close round there. Harney almost managed to get the draw, but now we have a sub-match point for Team NoLimit Proxiz. Nod and Panda definitely stepping up so hard. And Harney is being asked to do everything himself, looks like. So this time Panda is a bit behind. He will need to catch up at least one position if he wants to back up Nod and get that final 5th point. It's still looking good as it's super close. But then Nod makes a mistake, so once again this just might be a red round. This might be what they need in order to come back into this sub-match. Vag is quite far ahead in the first place. Harney has made a mistake. Where's Harney? Harney is still holding strong in that 3rd place at least, so he needs Vag to win this one. Vag with a wider line, but should get it. So Vag finally with a really nice round. Wins with a midpoint 0.8. And now the score is 4-2. So it's still not all lost for Numelops. They can still come back from this. Let's see, I'm sure that Proxiz are gonna wanna end this as soon as possible. Nod once again in the lead, and he definitely has the pace in this one. So let's see, Harney right now is in last, but he's still within striking distance, I would say. If he gets this one nice, he can catch up so much. But then Harney actually drops down further, so this time it's looking like a blue round. Harney, I think, needs a Wag to win this one in order to get the draw, because he's falling down further and further. He's 0.3 behind now. Everyone survives that turn. So this is looking like Nod versus Vag for their first place. But then Vag with a double mistake. It's up to Harney. Harney needs to overtake 2 people and he's 0.2 behind. Nod just needs to keep it together. Nod is doing so well. Panda is right behind him. This should be it for NoLimit Proxiz. And with that, they tie up the score to 1-1. Alright, so Harney has decided we have enough of warm-ups. And here we go with the first 3v3. Now let's see who's gonna get the first 2-pointer. Who's gonna pile a lot of pressure on their opponents. So Wag, Zykos and Novus versus Flyer, Feed and Panda. So definitely very stacked on both sides. Super close in the very start. We see Zykos there going a bit wider, and the Panda is the first one to make a huge mistake. So already it's all on the shoulders of Feed and Flyer to get numbers 1 and 3. Can they do it? Because Novus is super strong in this one. Novus is already pulling away with a Vag very close behind him, but then Zykos makes a mistake. So it's up to Vag and Novus maybe to hold up the flag for Numelops. I see Feed and Flyer are trying to attack. This is 2v2 up top, but then Feed makes a mistake. Looking very promising right now for the red team. Vag and Novus versus Flyer. Can just one of them get first place, and it's already gonna be around in their favor. It's super close. Novus with a very nice line. Novus is very much on the left, but Novus manages to pull himself back on the right. Gets second with Vag winning the round. And already both of them getting 11 points. Very nice start for Team Numelops. So Numelops looking incredibly strong here, Vag and Novus in particular. And I think Proxiz will need someone to step it up straight away if they wanna have a say in this sub-match. This time no mistakes in the start, but the red trio is all up ahead. Looks like Flyer has dropped down quite far, so it's up to Feed and Panda this time, but they have 3 red players to contest with, and this is gonna be really hard. Oh, there goes Wag. So it's still up to Zykos and Novus, but they're so far ahead. They have over 0.1 of a lead right now, and Panda and Feed will need some magic in this end. See, Panda barely saved himself, but that's gonna cost him a lot of time. Novus and Zykos are really not slowing down. All of them keep their gears. It's looking very good there. Novus is first. Oh, Feed goes super wide. Feed is dead. Panda will be allowed to finish, but again, top 2 for Numelops. And Novus driving that at 0.6 is putting so much pressure on Team Proxiz. Don't think they're able to keep up with him. And with that, the best thing they can do is maybe hope they can get like 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Something along those lines, because right now Novus just seems unable to stop. Let's see, into the next round we go. No mistakes in the very start. Everyone surviving their. Flyer is still within the pack. And this one is by far the closest round we've seen yet. Novus is not even in first, so this is a new situation. Feed right now is trying to fight Zykos for the first place, with Flyer and Wag then fighting for the 3rd place, but this is super close between everyone but Panda, who has dropped 0.2 behind. Only Panda cannot really catch up, but the rest, this is still very much open. It's all gonna get decided in this end. Flyer goes very wide there. Zykos is holding the key to this round in his hands. Zykos and Novus can maybe get top 2 here. Zykos definitely first. Flyer gets second, but Wag and Novus 3rd and 4th. So another round for Numelops. Feels like every round there's at least one player not finishing. Really wild map. And when you have to risk so much, there's a really high chance of a DNF, even when the level is so high. So I think Zykos just clipped the CP there, so he's gonna be down. But at the same time, Panda also makes a mistake, so it's a 2v2 up top. Feed and Flyer versus Novice and Vag. Now one of these two will need to step up and do something on the side of Proxiz if they want to have a fighting chance in this. Because Novice and Vag look very strong. Now Flyer is still doing alright. Feed also in second, so they're doing fine. If it stays like this, this is still a blue round. Now Feed I think has more speed than Novice, but will go a lot wider. Feed and Flyer second and third. They need to keep those positions, but Panda has made a mistake. So right now this is a red round. And we see another mistake there from a blue player, so it's definitely gonna be a red round. As long as they make it to the finish, and they do. So Novice and Vag once again 1 and 2. And this just might be a clean sweep actually. Novice dropping down those 0.6s. Nobody is able to keep up, with Vag getting those second places in. And they seem to be too strong for Proxiz at this point. Again, a mistake by Zykos there in the CP section. So, oh my god. That was a double KO by Numelops. It looks like they've decided to delete themselves from this round. And Proxiz will finally be allowed to take one with an ace even. Synchronized swimming there from the red side. And now we're just watching these three driving close to each other. Very safe, very calculated. They know they don't have to do anything special to win this one. They're even allowed to drop the gears in that hairpin. It's looking fine. Killing all three of them just to make it to the end. Feed goes very wide there on the left. So, yeah, that might be my fault. But I'm sure they're not gonna mind as long as they take the next three. Here we go. First point on board for NoLimit Proxiz. And they will be very happy about that one. At least they have something on the board. Will give them so much needed confidence. Now, I'm really sorry, but... yeah. Moving on to Vag versus Feed and the Novice up top. So it's 2v1 pretty much. Team Red looking very good in this round. As long as it stays like this, it's definitely one for him. As long as Zykos finishes, of course. So Vag and Novice. Only Feed is left with him. Zykos can finish. Now we're sure of that. So let's see if they can keep this up. Feed needs first here. Feed needs to overtake Novice here. But he once again goes for the wide line, goes for the speed, but Novice just has a much better line. It will be Novice and Vag first and third with Zykos. Where's Zykos? Zykos, what are you doing? No, that's unfortunate. I mean, he just had to finish. He could have even taken the lower route. So that round ends up being a draw, actually. And we're gonna wait for Panda. Panda also known to have internet issues quite often, actually. So some of us do understand how it is. Let's just watch Mr. Topfragger. Or not, because Panda's fine. So we'll continue here. Let's go. Let's see if Zykos can bounce back. No, he's been carried a bit by his two teammates. He's made loads of mistakes there in that CP section. Now he's looking quite fine. Survives. All the players survive the next CP as well. So we might just have another one of those close rounds. Now Vag is a bit behind. Flyer makes a first mistake. So Novice holding strong up top. Zykos is in second. Vag trying to contest Panda for the third place. Again, it's looking very promising for Numelops. Now all three of them are in the lead, with only Panda being able to somewhat catch up. Flyer super far behind. But Novice then makes a mistake. That's not something we've seen often. So it's Zykos and Vag versus Panda and Feed. Now this is still anyone's game, as we see a mistake there from the Zykos. So Feed just might be able to take this one with Panda in third. So this should be a run for Proxiz. But Vag wins the round, actually. So what's gonna happen now? Novice is in fourth. Zykos in fifth. And this will actually be a Numelops round. What? Flyer costing this one. And as usual, there's always a player just not able to finish. And Vag with it overtaking the very end. managed to fight off two blue players. Panda, Jesus Christ. So switching to Feed there. Feed is doing alright, but I think he just needs more support from Flyer and Panda. Now let's see, Novice is surely not gonna crash 2 rounds in a row. Feed right now jumping very much to the left, is able to somewhat save himself, but is gonna be in last going into this next section. Now who's gonna get the most speed out of this right-hander? Looks like it's still looking very promising for Team Red, as both Feed and Panda are quite far behind. They will have loads of catching up to do in the end. No, is still holding first, and Flyer is completely dead. So this is looking like an ace for Team Red, as Zykos makes a mistake, but that should still be fine for his team, because Novus is first, Vag is the second. And I think Zykos can be counting his lucky stars that he has teammates like Novus and Vag. And of course, Novus just casually dropping another midpoint 6. Oh, this is really impressive from Novus. So just one more round needed here for Numelops, or one more round needed for Vag and Novus. I think Zykos just died. Panda is lagging horribly. Zykos is dead in the start. And again, this is Novus and Vag versus Feed and Flyer pretty much. No, Flyer will need to avoid crashing, as Novus is jumping very much to the left, but manages to save it. He's still in first. Again, we have a 2v2 up top, with a Panda probably securing the 5th place at least. So one of the blue guys needs to step it up. Someone needs to take charge of this round and try at least to take down Novus and get their 1st place, because if it stays like this, this is still going to be a round for Numelops. Someone needs to take down Novus, but what's happening is actually the opposite, because Feed is dead, Vag is overtaking Flyer, and this is all going downhill for NoLimit Proxiz, as Novus is simply unbeatable on this. So Novus first once again, Vag second once again. How many times have we seen this, and how many times have we seen Numelops win a round in this one? Because that is gonna be it. 7-1 for Numelops. So not a clean sweep, but a very dominant performance. So we're going live with the possibly last sub-match of the quarterfinals. It's gonna be Mobile, Harney and Matix versus Juicy, Miquatro and Nod. So very evenly matched teams, I would say. And the red team taking a slight lead going to the first couple of corners, but then we see a mistake there from Nod, I believe. So Mobile still first, Harney dropping down a bit to Miquatro. Now Juicy is still also very close, but still 3 red guys up top. Mobile is creating a bigger and bigger gap with every turn there. So Mobile looking pretty there to take maybe even the 1st place. Juicy is quite far behind at this point, so we'll rely on Miquatro maybe to take first and have a chance for his team to get something. Because we know Miquatro and Juicy, they need 1 and 3 if they want to make something happen. As Mobile is dropping down a bit, Miquatro is trying to attack. Miquatro is doing quite well right now, but Juicy just isn't able to overtake both Matix and Harney. Will everyone survive the end? Mobile wins it, Miquatro in 2nd, Harney 3rd. So this is a round for Numelops. So here we go, red team already a 1-0 up, but that looked very close, and it was only Nod who made an early mistake and then had to rely on his teammates to bail him out. Didn't quite happen, but maybe he can bounce back straight away in round 2, where Matix is taking early lead, but now Matix with a horrible line, allowing Miquatro to take over together with his teammate Nod. And Matix trying to come back together with Harney. Juicy is quite far behind at this point, over 0.2. Will need a lot of catching up to do, as Miquatro is in first, but Nod is also dropping down, so right now it's still a red round. Matix trying to contest Miquatro for their 1st place. Let's see what's happening here. Mobile also trying to fight off Miquatro, but this is super close, and it just might be up to Nod maybe to get that 3rd place. Everyone guessed the downhill, but we see a huge mistake there from Mobile, I believe. Now it's not a Miquatro up top all of a sudden, and this is gonna be a round for still NoLimit Proxiz, even though Miquatro bounced off of the finish there. This is also quite an interesting end. can be easy, but if you're not paying attention, could end up in the DNF. So 1-1, and as we all thought, this is going to be a super close matchup. And even not making a mistake here, just being a bit slower, means you're likely going to end up in 5th or 6th as we go into the next round. Now Matix there with a much better line, doesn't drop down as much, and we know how good he is in the rest of the map. So Juicy is a bit behind, he's already over 0.3 behind, now 0.4, so it's going to be really hard for him to catch up. But then Mobile and Not both with snakes, so it's Miquatro versus Matix, and oh no. Okay, we're fine, we're back. We're back. It's all fine. Matix and Harney are trying to fight off Miquatro, and Miquatro definitely needs to get first with Juicy in 3rd. Maybe, can that happen? Harney is super wide, but Miquatro, what a mistake that was. And it's Harney in 1st with Mobile in 3rd, so it's still gonna be around for Numelops, with Matix just barely being able to finish. Complete turnaround there in the end. And just by the skin of the teeth, Numelops take this one. As my internet barely stays alive, fighting a battle of his own. Into the next one we go. So Numelops right now with the advantage. But Juicy then with another mistake. So again, it's up to Nod and Miquatro. I think Miquatro is just being asked to do so much in this all by himself. His teammates are making so many mistakes. Look at just how far Juicy is. And again, we have a sort of a 3v2 battle. But Miquatro is looking quite good. If he can just take first, Nod then needs to get 3rd. Because Harney and Mawile are a bit behind. Over 0.2 right now. So they will need to step it up in the latter part of the map if they want to do something. Now Matix is contesting Miquatro. Matix could win this for Numelops. Matix needs to get first here to secure the point for his team. Nod looks to be safe in the 3rd place, so Miquatro versus Matix might be the crucial battle in this one. But then Nod makes a mistake, and this is definitely going to be a red round. Unless they all die in the end. Which is not what's going to happen, and that is another round for Numelops then. So Numelops looking very good. Arnie again is having a very good match. Matix as fast as usual. Marvel also not making that many mistakes. And I think Juicy is the one who needs to step up the most on the blue side of things. He's made so many mistakes, and now this time it's Harney and Miquatro. Double mistake there. Matix barely manages to avoid disaster there on the left. So it's again a 2v2 with Juicy versus Mobile, and then the Nod versus Matix. This is still up for grabs because it looks like Harney has got the better of Miquatro, but no, just as I say, the Miquatro overtakes Harney, so it's still a super close battle for 5th as well as for 1st here. Juicy needs to take first because Nod has made a mistake. So can Juicy maybe win this one for his team, because looks like Harney is dead last. Juicy trying to attack here. Juicy versus Mobile. This could be crucial. Juicy needs to win this. Juicy with a more wide line, but Mobile with the inside line wins it with just over 100. So it's 1st, 3rd and 6th for Numelops, but that of course is enough. And they get another point on board. With a Mobile winning the crucial 1v1 matchup there. And swinging the round in his team's favor. So 4-1 right now for Numelops. It's looking very promising for them. And it's looking very grim for Proxiz, who really need to have a proper team round with none of them crashing. Maybe this is the one. So Harney right now is in last, but also is catching up to Juicy. Super close there on the right, but manages to survive. That Nod is in the lead, but this is super close, and that's a no drift there from Mawile. This is the chance I think they were waiting for. This is the chance that Proxiz need to take advantage of, because it's a 3v2. Even Harney makes a mistake, so let me just find one of the other guys. So it's Nod, Miquatro and Juicy, all three up top, only versus Matix. So Matix, unless he manages to find a way to clone himself, there's just no way he can win this round all on his own. Nod still in first, Miquatro just needs to get second, and then they don't even need Juicy, which is exactly what happens. And finally we have another point on board for Proxiz. So Prox is showing some signs of life. They're still in this. And they're still able to fight back and maybe even swing this whole matchup in their favor. Of course, just to say that, Nod is dead already in the start. He's going to be quite far behind, leaving it all up to Juicy and Miquacho. Now, we've seen Juicy make loads of mistakes, so maybe Miquacho really needs to take charge of this and get first. All three red players are still up. All three are still alive and kicking in this round. Only a 0.1 between the top 5. But Miquacho is in the lead, so it's still looking very good for Team Blue. Because Mowal and Harney are quite far behind, and Miquacho is creating a bigger gap. Now Mowal crashes, so Miquacho is looking good. Now Juicy just needs to stay second or third. Juicy is in third, so it's still fine for his team. Now Harney and Matix both here need to overtake Juicy, because Miquacho has a massive lead at this point. It's almost 0.2, and he can't afford to save the entire end. Now Harney is attacking, but can Matix maybe overtake Juicy as well? Looks like he can't, so as long as Nod can finish, which he does. This is another point for NoLimit Proxiz, and they're on a comeback right now. Looking good for the blue side in the past 2 rounds. They're not making this easy for Numelops. So Juicy is definitely stepping up. Juicy is showing what he's capable of. And if this keeps on going, we're gonna have a few more of these super close rounds. So this time everyone avoids the mistake in the very start. And I would say Numelops have a slightly better start, with the Juicy dropping down just a bit. But we've seen some huge comebacks in this map in the latter part. So Miquacho right now, once again, taking charge with both Nod and Juicy at the back. So it's looking like a red round, but it's still up in the air for the end. Let's see right now, all 3 red players trying to contest Miquacho. They're for the lead, but that's a massive mistake by Harney. And that could change everything right now, because Miquacho needs to get first here, Juicy needs to get third. This is super close. Mowal dropping down so hard. Can Miquacho win this? Miquacho versus Matix, possibly for the round with Juicy versus Mowal. This is double 1v1. Who's gonna take this? Matix first, Mowal. This is actually a round for NoLimit Proxiz. Should be back. We should be back just in time for Numelops winning the round. Let me check, let me check. Yeah, I mean, it should be working right now. It should be working. So here we go with the next one. Here we go with the colors as well. So we see an early mistake there from Matix, which could be really good for... I wasn't Matix, sorry. Still lagging a bit. Alright, I think it's fine now. So not there with a mistake, not Matix. And but we still see Miquacho and Juicy trying to fight for the top 2 places. If they can just get first and third, this should still be a blue point. Now Matix dropping down, as well as Harney and Mowal. So looking promising for Proxiz, but Mowal is trying to fight back. Of course, second place is not going to be enough. Harney needs to make something happen as well. But Miquacho and Juicy get first and second. So it's going to be a point for Proxiz, and we just might be going into tennis mode here. Huge comeback here from NoLimit Proxiz. Really fighting back, and they just might do it in the end. Let's see if anyone can win 2 rounds in a row, as Matix makes an early mistake that puts a lot of pressure on Harney and Mowal. So Harney and Mowal need first and third now against 3 blue players. Looking good for Mowal, with a Miquacho there with a bit of a dodgy line. Will allow Mowal and Harney to be up top together with Nod and Juicy. Mowal looking super strong in this one. Nod and Juicy trying to catch up, trying to fight against the red duo. Right now Mowal with a very sloppy turn allows Nod to go up in the lead, but then Harney with a massive turn is catching up so much. So right now it's so too hard to call who's gonna take this one. Nod versus Harney there. I think it's still a red round, because we see 1 blue player super far behind. I think it's Juicy, so even if Nod wins this one, it just might not be enough. So Nod does win it, but this is still going to be a round for Numelops. So Numelops right now with the match point. Just one more needed. And Proxiz need to win this one in order to stay in the match and force tennis mode. So this is it. Can Numelops take? And Juicy with an early mistake. This is exactly what I wanted. Time for Miquatro to shine. Miquatro needs to win this, I think. Because we still have 3 red players, but then Mowal with a mistake. Juicy is quite far behind, but Mowal is even further behind. So Mowal fights back with a mistake, which is not what you want to do. Let's go to the top 4, sorry. So Miquatro and Nod versus Harney and Matix. Just might be up to these 4 guys to win this one, because Juicy has probably secured that 5th place. Which means Miquatro and Nod just need to keep these positions, and they're gonna be fine. And now Harney is dropping down a lot. Matix even with the outside line. He is gonna have a lot of speed for this, but Harney with a mistake. So looks like we are gonna be seeing tennis mode. As long as all of these guys can just survive the finish, which is exactly what's happening. We are going into tennis mode. So 6-6 right now. Still 2 points needed for either team. Proxiz is just barely staying alive. And Mowal there, I think, had a massive chance, but made a mistake after Juicy made one himself. Which was enough for Proxiz to come back and take that round. Here we go now. Harney takes the best start out of everyone. But this is a super close one. No early mistakes. It's still anyone's game. So everyone is within 0.12 of a second. Mowal right now in the lead, as we see Matix there with a no drift. That is going to be a huge dent in Numelops' chances in this one. So Juicy, Nod, Miquatro, all super close to Mowal. Harney is a bit behind as well. So I think Harney will need to make something happen here if he wants to come back, as Mowal cannot do this on his own. Mowal needs some backing up. And Mowal is the only one right now from Team Red doing anything in this round. Harney needs to overtake at least 2 people. Harney is doing a good job in trying to overtake Juicy, but it's just not gonna be enough because everyone survives. Not even wins the round, overtakes Mowal. And Proxiz are fully catching up. Proxiz right now for the first time are actually in the lead in this sub-match. Yeah, maybe in real life bits. But right now it's not looking good. So this time it's the turn of Numelops to strike back, save themselves, and live to fight another round. Let's see, can they do it straight away, just like... oh no. Just like Proxiz did. All players still survive. All players so close to each other. This is definitely anyone's game. Juicy right now in last, and he's only a 0.17 behind his teammate Nod. All of them survived that turn. No drifts this time around. Nod is in first, but needs one of his teammates to maybe catch up with, because all of the red players are in between them. Super close, too hard to call. This one right now looking like a red round, but it can all change in the end, as Juicy is overtaking Mowal. Now all of a sudden this is a blue round. This is super close. I think Mowal will need to catch up here. But then Juicy, what a mistake that was. Can Miquatro get third? Miquatro third, not first. Yes! They actually saved themselves. What a comeback that was from NoLimit Proxiz to force the decider 3v3. So the decider 3v3 on Blast Off with Weg, Harney and Zykos versus Nod, Panda and Link. Who is gonna go into the semifinals? Let's see, everyone surviving the start. We've seen a couple of mistakes early on there, and then Nod with the first mistake in this sub-match. Drops down quite early with the whole red team right now up front. Panda already also a 0.2 behind, so it's really up to Link to maybe get a round win, as Panda is lagging a lot. Panda again having some internet issues that will surely put a dent in his team's chances for winning here. Right now Zykos and Weg holding strong in the top 2 places. Link not really getting the most exit speed, but then again so hasn't Zykos, and the Weg is in the lead still. So if Weg can just stay there, Zykos in third, Harney in fourth. This is looking very promising for Team Red. right now because it's only Link still alive. So they don't even have to win the round, they just have to get second, third, fourth. But Wag actually wins with a 0.6. Really promising time. Harney makes a mistake there in the end. So Panda is back and we're going live yet again. Numelops holding that 1-0 lead, but still far away from deciding who's gonna take it, as Panda is lagging a bit again. So I'm gonna try to avoid spectating him. Now let's see if everyone can avoid the mistake there. Zykos again with his special line, always pays off. So great job by Zykos, but Nod is trying to contest for that first place. Panda always also comes back so strong after that stretch, has so much exit speed. As right now it's Nod and Panda actually in the lead, with Panda who's all over the place, really hard to tell what he's doing. So Wag and Zykos have some catching up to do in the end. Panda in first, Nod in third, fighting for the second place. Who's gonna get the most exit speed here? Looks like it is Panda, with Nod dropping down a lot, but then again he has so much more exit speed than the rest. So it's up to Zykos, I think, to win this one, as Harney is far behind in last. So Zykos will win it, Panda in second, Nod in fourth. And it's actually gonna be a run for Numelops in the end, because both Zykos and Wag win their individual 1v1s. And that's a mad comeback there from Zykos, which only tells you just what a sick time Panda was on. Because Zykos caught up so much, and both of them drove 0.6s. So another run right now for Numelops. Looking very strong, but Panda also showing what he's capable of. So I'm not asking his boys for some focus. Let's see if they're gonna take something away from this round. Now Link goes for so much speed here, and is able to execute it with a Link, Panda and Nod all in front right now. Wag is a bit behind. Now the hotkeys are all messed up as Link makes a mistake. Panda and Nod are still doing very well up top. Both of them have around the 0.1 of a lead, but Harney is trying to come back. Harney has so much speed over that grass part. So Panda in first, but we've seen him drop down, and he does it yet again. So all of a sudden it's Harney in the lead, and it's looking like a rainbow in favor of Numelops. Harney trying to hold strong there, Link far behind together with Panda and Zykos. So this is gonna be another red round. Harney doing an amazing job on this map. And after a mistake in the previous round, comes back very strong. And right now is even carrying a bit. So we've seen all three red boys being able to win a round when they need to. They're doing some great teamwork here. And that's exactly how you're supposed to play these matches. And of course Zykos makes a mistake as soon as I praise him. So right now Nod and Link with the top two. Wag is trying to do something, but Wag crashes as well. So Nod and Link together with Harney and Panda up top. Now this has to be a blue round, I think. If they drop this one, then they might as well just all go offline and do something else. Two red players are down. It's Link and Nod far ahead. They don't need to risk at all. They can even let Harney do whatever he wants. Doesn't matter if Harney wins this one. So doing a great job right now. Wag super far behind. Panda just chilling there in fourth place. Harney the only one not crashing from Numelops, but this time it's Link with a 0.6. So finally a point on board for Proxiz, and they're still in it. Now they just need 6 more and they're into the semifinals. Now let's see if everyone can avoid the mistakes in the start. It's looking decent right now, with Zykos surviving. Now Zykos and Wag in the lead. Let's see, Nod is the closest from the blue side. Link always goes for so much exit speed here, gets it yet again. So this is going to be super close up top with Panda and Harney a bit behind. So we have a 2v2 and then a 1v1 right now. Harney dropping down, but his teammates doing a great job up there with a first and third place right now. Still a red round. Harney trying to at least attack Panda, who gets a very dodgy transition there. But then again, that just might be his internet, as he is still ahead of Harney. Let's see, Vag versus Link up top. This is a rainbow in favor of Proxiz. If Link can just stay there in first, Link wins another round with Nod in third. So Proxiz are making the comeback yet again. History is kind of repeating itself from the previous map. So it looks like we're good and we're continuing. Let's see, Panda is looking ready right now. Let's see what's gonna happen. No, everyone avoiding the mistake at the start. Link is dropping down a bit. Link also makes a mistake, so it's already looking pretty grim for his team. With Panda, I know, both going full over that gray block, risking it for the biscuit, but then Panda gets so much exit speed as he's lagging yet again, not with a mistake. So this time around it's a 3v1 in favor of Numelops. Numelops there with a massive chance of winning this. It's only Panda, but then Zykos I think gets a no drift there. Really weird mistake, allows Nod to catch up, so maybe this round isn't over yet. Maybe if Panda can make something happen, if Panda can maybe just win the round and then Nod maybe get third, but it's looking very unlikely at this point as Vag is still in first. Nod just cannot get close enough to Harney to even perform an attack. So Vag will win it with Harney in third. And Numelops get their fourth point on board. Numelops just bit by bit getting closer to that magic number 7. They need 3 more rounds to close this out and get prepared for that match against the 4 wheels. Of course, let's not count out Proxiz yet. They're still alive and kicking. Let's see what Link is doing. Link avoids the mistake here. Doesn't do anything wrong right now. So Link is still in it. Doing alright. Super close round at the very beginning. Everyone avoids the mistake there as well. So super close one this, as Panda is lagging yet again. Everyone is within less than 0.2 of a second. Not right now in first, but it's still looking very promising for the red team. As Link is still in last. Panda they're fighting with Zykos, so we have 3 individual 1v1s here. This is a super close. Vag versus Nod and Zykos versus Panda, and Link is trying to attack here. Link is coming closer, but as long as Vag is first and Zykos third, there's not a lot he can do. Link absolutely has to take this third place away from Zykos. Zykos is going so wide and Zykos crashes, which allows the Proxiz to win the round in the end. Only Vag staying alive there. And Zykos, he knew he needed to take the third place. So you can kind of justify his risk there. But that means that Proxiz get another point, and right now it's 4-3. So we've seen Zykos being very fast, but also making many mistakes. Let's see if he can bounce back with a 0.6 maybe. So now all 3 red players are up top. But then again, it's a super close round and nobody with a mistake yet. Not close there on the inside. Manages to get so much exit speed with Harney in last right now. Panda also dropping them, but Zykos with another mistake on the stretch, where you don't even have to drift. That's a bit of a weird one. But that puts Proxiz in an amazing spot to win this match, as Harney gets a weird slowdown there. So not in first, Vag and Panda closely behind, but it's pretty much a 3v1, and this is looking very grim for Numelops. Some mistakes there from the blue side. I think the Link just died when all he had to do was just save. So once again, this is actually a red round in the end, unless a Panda can take first. Panda just cannot take first. And Vag, Zykos, Harney, this is actually a round for Numelops in the end. Crazy comeback by Numelops in this one, but I'd say that's more of a throw from Link actually. Because all they had to do was just save. Zykos was the closest and he was 0.7 behind or something like that. So I think that was the key round for Proxiz, maybe to pile more pressure onto Numelops with their comeback, but now Numelops are just so close to winning this. Now into the next one. Can Link just keep it together? He's shown in the past couple of tournaments that he's been doing so well. Can he just keep it together for the next couple of rounds with Nod and Vag, that 1v1 for first place? Then we have Zykos and Link with a Panda in fifth. Harney is also in the mix. Harney is also super close, and right now Zykos with a mad risk there, but manages to survive together with Vag. Harney with a very wide drift goes for the exit speed. Link and Nod both dropping down so hard. So it's Zykos who should take first here. Harney and Vag also super close here to Link and Nod. Harney had to release there, but Zykos will take first with Vag and Harney, just enough for them to take another round. And this means they're into the match point yet again. They had a match point on the previous map. This time they have a bit of a bigger advantage, it's 6-3. They can even afford to waste a round or two. But then again, this just might be it. This is the chance, and Proxiz just cannot afford to make any mistakes, as Harney is the first one making a mistake. Harney maybe has blown his Zykos. Oh dear, what is going on right now? So Numelops are crumbling, it's only Wag left, but we've seen this situation before. We've just seen the blue guys make some mistakes, which they really shouldn't have. And if I can just find Nod. Nod is still in 4th, Zykos super far behind. Harney is in 5th, but cannot really attack Nod, because he's 0.4 behind. So this is still fine for Proxiz. Nod did have that slower section, but he's still fine. Nod again, what is he doing there? Allows Harney to come even closer, but this is still fine. As his two teammates are in 2nd and 3rd, doesn't really matter what Wag does. So Proxiz is still alive, still trying to mount another comeback. And Numelops again just need to close it out. Wag right now looking to be the most solid of the Numelops trio, with Harney and Zykos a bit all over the place. Both of them just making so many mistakes. They just need to pull through. I know the match has been going on for very long, but they need to pull through for just a couple more rounds. Let's see, maybe this is the round where they close it out. Nobody touches the wall there on the left. Everyone is still alive, with a Harney in last, 15 behind. Who's gonna do this the best? Everyone doing a great job there, with Panda dropping down, but he's still super close to the top. So right now it's not in 1st, and everyone is within the mix. Everyone still has a shot of winning their 1st place, but then Panda goes over the grass, drops down just a bit. Oh, and a huge mistake there from Nod. So Vag and Zykos up top together with Link. This just might be it. This should be the end. Numelops have 3 in the top 4. Zykos is 1st, Vag fighting with Link. Another mistake from Panda. This has to be it, surely. Zykos 1st, Vag in 3rd, Harney in 4th, and GG. Congratulations to Numelops for advancing to the semi-finals.